All right. So we're live, and we're going to wait for people to join us, and we'll just chit chat until I start seeing people show up. The video will stay up forever on my channel, and so it may end up drawing people to you, indefinitely. You don't know. So it's one of those things where you could end up getting a client from it a year from now. So,
I'm still getting people reaching out and notifications and things that I had put out a year ago and pieces of content that I wrote almost 2 years ago. And people are just now finding them going, wow, I never thought about it that way. So,
yeah, that's great. All right. Well, we have a few people here joining us already. Wow. I can't believe it. There's already 26 people, and we'll just see how it grows. Well, good morning, everybody. Well, first of all, where are you located, Jeff?
I'm in South Carolina.
Okay, so we're both on the East Coast. Okay, I'm up in Philadelphia. So, all right, excellent. So good morning, everybody joining us. I know it's probably late afternoon and evening for my European followers, and it's still coffee morning time for my West Coast followers. So hi, everybody. This is the first in a series on, we got Sweden in the house. Good. That's good. Yeah. Hey, in the chat, everyone tell me where you're from too. That's cool. Yep. Everybody tell us where you're from, and we'll acknowledge you there. All right. So this is the first in my series, my friends, on making money and being self-sufficient. The very first in a ongoing series. And I thought a great person to be part of this would be Jeff Putnam, who I have followed and met at the 21 convention a little over a month ago. And he has some important things to say. So this is going to be an ongoing series that I'm calling Making Money and Being Self-Sufficient. I don't expect you, my audience, to be able to quit your job next week, although you might not have a job next week because of a lockdown, who knows. But the reality of being self-sufficient, there is no downside to that. So welcome to the show, Jeff. I appreciate you being here today.
I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah. All right. Give me a little backstory of Jeff Putnam. Tell me, how did you get to where you are? But start a long time ago.
Well, a long time ago, when my mom met my dad. No, I'm just kidding. I can take it back as far as maybe 10 years ago.
Perfect.
I was a project superintendent for a construction company. We did commercial remodels based out of San Antonio. I was making really good money, right? And this was kind of hard to believe considering we were just coming out of the 2008 recession. And when I got that job and things started going really well, I ended up having to travel a whole lot more. So I ended up on the road, spending a whole lot of time all over the Southwest United States, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, a couple of times in Utah, things like that. But it wasn't such a bad thing with the money as it was with how much it put a strain on my family. My wife was pregnant. For those of you who have no idea, we have 9 children. We have 8 boys. We have 1 girl, age range from 21 to 6. And at that time, my wife was pregnant with our 8th. And so her being home with 7, pregnant with 1, and me being gone on the road, it put a really big kind of, strain on what was going on. And we were fighting constantly because I was only home 3 days a month. So not really being a big fan of divorce, knowing there's no way in hell I could, afford that kind of child support. And really, I love my wife, I love my kids, and I didn't want my kids to grow up without a father. So I quit. I gave up the company phone, the company truck, all the benefits, and the money, thinking I can find something local. And that didn't work out. The economy around us locally was still reeling from the 2008 recession. And so the only thing I could find was a butcher shop job making making minimum wage, working less than 20 hours a week. So we started doing a leapfrog thing. Well, we'll pay this bill, and then we'll pay a little bit on this bill. We'll get an extension on this bill. But, it just kept snowballing and cascading until we started cutting off, the phone, then the cable, and then the car got repossessed. And then we ended up getting evicted to the point where it was just me, my wife, all of our kids living in one motel room. And I was having to walk to work at one of those work today, get paid today kind of places. And I found a job where I was swinging a sledgehammer in the desert, turning big concrete into little concrete for 10 hours a day, and doing that for 2 years. But the problem with it was I couldn't get ahead at all because I was making $56 a day after I would go and cash in my day's check and the little check cashing fees from the gas station right next door. And so it was a struggle. It was a really big struggle. And it got to the point where it was almost too much to bear, but my wife had a sister who came home from the Middle East, and my wife and children moved in with her, and I left, and I came back to South Carolina, where I'm from. And I found a McDonald's job right away, started putting in applications everywhere I could, found a job working for a automotive manufacturer making the seats for BMWs. That was a great job. I worked there up until July of this year, when Corona kind of ended all that for me. But I got really buckled into just relying on that one thing, and just terrified of ever having to go back to what it was before, with my wife and kids looking at me like I failed, and because I did. I couldn't provide for them. But about 4 years into my time at that job, I started getting a little restless and a little antsy. I could see the guys who had worked at that same factory for 20 something years just looked tired and beat down and miserable. And then the layoffs came, and these people had been there for 20 years. And we had a couple of series of layoffs before COVID, and these people were getting laid off after 20 years like that meant nothing to them. And so I started thinking that only having one source of income was pretty much like playing Russian roulette with a pistol. You were going to get popped. So I started a company called Rugged Legacy Grooming Supply. It's a men's grooming supply. If you can't tell, we make everything that you could possibly need for your beard. Beard wash, body wash, hair oil for women, body lotion, beard balms, shave creams for those of you who have to, go out and save the day in a fireman's uniform or wearing a military uniform. So I started doing that, and it took off a whole lot quicker than I thought it would. And I realized I was pretty good at business. And so I started branching out a little bit, and got into coaching, got into some digital product creation, e-books and e-courses and things like that. And I've done really well. And then when COVID finally took my job from me back in July, so it's been almost July 1st, was almost 6 months now, almost 6 months. And I haven't needed to find another job, because between Rugged Legacy and my coaching, as well as my digital products, it made me to where I don't need a job. I can stay home and be with my kids every day, see my wife every day, help them with their homeschooling. And it's been one just big blessing when I figured out that one thing. You're muted.
There we go. What is the status of that now, that business?
Rugged Legacy?
Rugged Legacy and also the digital business.
It's booming. Rugged Legacy is fully automated. I have a manufacturer and a shipping warehouse in Utah, and I am completely hands off from the company now. I just sit back and own it and look pretty. As far as the digital business, it's always in flux. You always have to be iterating and changing things up and bringing out something new. And so that's where I'm in the process of now. But coaching has been amazing. I love being able to work with people and reach out and help people go from where I was to where I am. And a lot of my class have even surpassed where I am, which is fantastic. I'll never not be proud of that. But with everybody having to work from home and people having to rely on, a hope that their job's not going to be taken from them in a lockdown or they're not going to be struggling. Again, it's financial suicide to only rely on one source of income now.
Yeah. Yeah. So speak to the guy out there who might say, I don't have any skills. I've only worked in a factory my whole life, or I've only been a delivery guy or in manufacturing. And he got hit pretty hard with lockdowns and all this restrictions and all this kind of stuff. How would you work with a guy like that?
Well, first off, there's no such thing as not having any skills. You have skills, you just don't know you have them because you've never seen them articulated in a way that you could monetize them, right? I'm thinking I had no idea, how to run a business because I didn't know anything about it. And a business is simple. You have a product, you have a way to put that product in front of people, and then you implement that and they buy it. It's very simple. It sounds complicated when you think, I need a logo, I need a business card, I need a suit, I need professional headshots. You don't need any of that. Someone once said to me, if you ask a child how to start a business, they'll say, go get lemons, water, and sugar and set up a lemonade stand. If you ask an adult how to start a business, they'll talk about taxes and logos and websites and all that other. You need to bring back that kid side of it. All right. It's not hard to make an initial dent in your bank account if you just start creating. You can go and there's some tips and tricks that I like to use. If there's something you don't know anything about, go onto Amazon, buy the first 3 best-selling ebooks on it, that you can find on Amazon, the Kindle books. Read them. Spend 6 months while you still have the opportunity. Spend 6 months, an hour a day working on that skill, whatever it is. If you spend 1 hour a day for 6 months, that's 180 hours. And it's hard to not become an expert at something with 180 hours of focused work on it. There's no such thing as a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not going to happen. But for me, I got on Twitter and I started connecting with people who knew more than I did and learning from them. And then when I felt like I couldn't learn anymore just from watching or just from listening, I just started doing. And I made 1,000 mistakes a week. And eventually it clicked. And that's kind of like anything, you start at a new job. You don't know how to run it right. You're going to screw up building that burger or welding that seam or whatever it is until you do it enough times to get it right. You just have to have the grit to stick it out.
Yeah. So you're not telling people to quit your job first and then do this. This is something that people can build while they are still earning in their traditional career.
Oh, yeah. I don't recommend anybody quit their job until the income they're getting from a second stream of income be at least 2 times what you're making from your initial stream. Now, I didn't have that option because it was just, my job was just snatched out from under me. And luckily, I had been doing about a year of prep work before it happened. Well, a year and a half of prep work. Because that was my plan, was to get out of my main 9-to-5.
Yeah. So your coaching and your digital products, it has nothing to do with the men's grooming stuff. This is completely different.
Yeah, it's completely different. I don't like being a one-trick pony.
Mm-hmm. Diversification.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I can't put everything into one job because that job might be taken away. So I can't put everything into one avenue of revenue because one of them might get taken away.
Sure. And that's proven to be true in 2020, where the only, how can I put it? The only guarantees are the ones that you create for yourself, because the government, society is not going to do it for you.
No, at the end of the day, they really don't care whether you make it or not. I see someone in the chat said, don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've got multiple digital products. I've got a coaching client to service business, and I've got my rugged legacy business, and I'm still looking for something else I can do. I've recently gotten into crypto and the stock market. And when I say recently, I mean 2 days ago. And I don't know really anything about some of the newer stuff that I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway, and I'm going to screw it up, and I might lose a bit of money, but the more time I spend working on it, the better off I'm going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're not waiting till all the conditions are perfect before you make a move.
Nope. I actually sent an email out to my email list just the other day. I said, start before you know everything. Right? Because a lot of it, people get bogged down in the weeds. They tend to be looking at each individual tree, thinking they got to get it mapped out in order to figure out their other, how to get through the forest. And you don't. When I started Rugged Legacy, I didn't have a manufacturer. I was making it in my kitchen. When I was starting out with, a digital product, I'd never created a digital product before. I'd never written an ebook. I didn't know what I was doing. I just simply started doing it. Still on there, George? Yeah, I think we lost George. I froze him to death. All right, well, the connection still seems to be good. And maybe George will hop in. But yeah, you don't need to wait until the conditions are right, and you don't need to have everything figured out before you get started. I knew nothing about business, and compared to a lot of other people, I still don't know anything about business. Just where do I start if I want to start my own coaching business? I think I have the knowledge and training for the topic, but what's a good first step to start coaching? You need social proof. All right. So if you had success in what you're going to be coaching on, whether it be with clients, former associates, or, hey, George, there you are.
Yep.
I'm just answering a question here for one of the guys in the chat while I was waiting on you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Pop back in. So you need reviews and social proof, things that you can take out and prove that you've had experience with it. And the basic things that you need for a coaching business: Zoom Pro, so you have unlimited time on screen. Card, CARRD, right? Card.co. You can build a landing page with a link to where they can book your booking software, which I use Appointlet. Right? It's free. You can use Calendly. Calendly is very much the same as Appointlet. You need social proof. You need a network of people who can prove that you're good at what you do, and who have no problem leaving you a review. I like video reviews, but little text blurbs or things like that are fine. Just something to back up who you are, and then you're going to have to start working on your client outreach. Some of it's going to be organic. I get a lot of my clientele from people who will buy a product of mine, whether it be my Master Course Creator course, where it's a video-based course, excuse me, where you can learn how to put together video courses and educational courses and have them online for sale. One of my most popular products is a small ebook It's actually on sale right now. It's called Quick Start Side Hustle. And I'm working on a rewrite of it now, adding more content and videos to that now. But it's basically a small little framework of various different side hustles to make money online that you can start today and within 30 days have a published product online, whether it be through Amazon or Gumroad or any of the other online platforms. But that's all organic traffic where people will find me and go, hey, I see you also have coaching. I want to come to you. And this right here shows you know what you're doing. But a lot of other people that I have as clients will either be through word of mouth from associates or me cold outreach. I'll hit them up in a DM or an email or a phone call. Hey, we should talk. I like what you're doing. I think I could help you come up with a strategy to pretty much get you everywhere and have you take off at a much higher rate and improve your client base, improve your profits, and we'll all benefit. And then we end up getting onto a discovery call and we'll figure out whether or not we're going to be a fit to work together.
So you don't have a degree in literature and writing and this kind of stuff, and you're putting out products that people are benefiting from. How long did it take you to, let's say, write your first course?
It took me maybe 1 month to write my first course, and it bombed. Right? It just bombed out. But when I went to make the second one, it took me 2 weeks. And as of right now, I'm zeroing in on over 700 copies sold.
That's great.
Of Quick Start Side Hustle. And it's it's simple. It's actionable. There's no fluff. It's a short book. It's going to get longer and the price is going to go up. But I mean, it's only maybe 12,000 words, but it's just simple step by step. If you follow these instructions, you will have a digital product on anything you want it to be on. And you can start marketing it and selling it and making money. Are you going to make $1,000 that day? No, maybe not. But you can scale indefinitely, and there's no limit to how far you can scale it and how much you can niche down and expand and keep breaking it apart until you have this big diverse network of products that everyone's benefiting from.
So there's somebody in my audience right now watching this and who will be watching this in the future. They don't need a degree to do this. They don't need to take out a business loan to do this. This is doable.
No, I barely graduated high school. I dropped out of college with like 40 credits shy of a degree because I just wasn't good at it. I didn't fit very well in a classroom setting. It's not for me. I learned from doing, right? I became a project superintendent at a construction company because I saw other people doing it, and I did break the rules by going and doing what they were doing and got good at it, right?
Yeah.
So, no, you don't need a degree to start making money online. You don't need a degree to teach people how to do something that you do. You just have to be able to format it in a way that they can understand it. And that's what Quick Start Side Hustle does. It shows people how to break things down step by step to put it into something that is marketable, whether it be a video course, an e-course, email marketing, which is going to be in the new section I'm adding, affiliate marketing, how to build social media audiences so that you have a larger base of people to market to. It's very simple, actionable items. I don't like putting theory and fluff and psychology because let's face it, it's a pseudoscience. People are different. There's going to be a few core truths on what people react to. And the one core truth is going to be results. So when you can show them how to put their thoughts onto a page and have that created into a product that they can sell and make money from, that's what they want. And that's what I like doing.
What was the biggest thing that you had to adapt to when you went from depending on someone else or a company for a paycheck to depending on only yourself? Part of this series that I'm doing is not just making money, but it's also on being self-sufficient. What was the biggest wake-up call for you?
Oh, A good friend of ours, Zach, he had, when I told him that I had lost my job and I was having to go all in on everything I was already doing for myself, he sent me a text and he said, it's feast or famine and it's all on you. And I'd been in that situation before, back when we were homeless and I was working at one of those work today, get paid today places. But this was different. I mean, I can go out and swing a hammer all day and make a living, but I don't want to change my lifestyle. I don't want to change what I've given my children. And I think the biggest wake up call was having to go right back to being 100% accountable for everything I do, in which it sounds like, what do you mean I wasn't accountable before? But let's face it, if you go to your job and you go through the autopilot thing that you've been doing every single day, you're going to get a paycheck as long as you're on the clock for X amount of hours, right? But when you're self-employed, you either have to continuously be present all day, every day in order to keep making money, or you have to have implemented systems and created systems where you can step back and not do anything at all and still make that money.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, it's still on you. You don't get to turn around and say, well, so-and-so didn't clock in today, so it was hard to get the quota. No, it's all on you.
Yeah.
And I think it was okay when that happened, because the first time I went through it, when I left my construction job, I was kind of in a bit of a panic mode, trying to figure out what I'm going to do when I couldn't get that job back and I couldn't find a decent paying job. But just like I said with, my first product, my second one, it took off. And so my second attempt at this was easy. I've done this before. I've been here before. I'm just going to keep doing it. And, you keep throwing noodles at the wall until one of them sticks. But I also didn't discount the fact that there's a lot of people out there that know more than me. So I had no problem paying them to learn from them.
Right. Now, when you go into business for yourself, when you start looking at being self-sufficient, it's not like looking for a job where you are saying, well, I like this job or I like that job because they give me so many vacation days and these are the benefits and, the benefit package and so forth. When you work for yourself, you don't get that automatic benefit package, but there's a different bunch of benefits. Tell me the benefits of working for yourself versus working for the man.
Well, the benefits are the same as the cons, actually. The benefit is I don't have anybody telling me what to do. The con is I don't have anybody telling me what to do.
Yeah.
So I have to figure it out for myself.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I worked at that company for 6 years, and all I could dream about was one day getting out and leaving that place, because I hated it with a passion. But of course, I'm going to stay there because my family needs an income, right? It's my job. I got to provide for them. But now that I'm out and I'm doing this for myself, even when it gets hard and it's stressful and I'm struggling and maybe I have a creative, block on what I'm going to do next or how I'm going to improve on this or that, I would still much rather struggle through that than ever go back to having to ask permission to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
There's a freedom to it, and I don't have to ask permission to make more money. You can go.
Wait, I like that. You don't have to ask for more permission.
Yeah, you don't have to ask permission to make more money.
I like that.
You can make as much money as you want. You go to work every day for a year. You show up on time. You do a good job. Your boss gives you a 2% raise. Cool. You get an extra $1.50 an hour. Yeah. Me, I want a raise. I make a new product.
Yeah.
It takes me 30 days, sometimes less, to create a new product, throw it up for sale. Boom, there's my raise. I've got 20,000 people buying it.
Nice.
Okay, cool. That's fine. You can You set your own terms. You make as much money as you want to make by how much you produce. It really is a meritocracy of sorts. But you don't have to ask permission for time off. You want to take the day off? Take the day off. Do you have something in place that will keep everything going? Yeah, cool. Okay, take the day off. I'm looking at my whiteboard and I've got Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays completely clear, and I've got Saturdays and Sundays completely clear. So I work on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's my life now. And I was working 70 hours a week at a factory. And I make just as much money, if not more money, on just one of my income streams that I was at my factory job.
I heard a joke where a guy sees his boss pulling up in a Lamborghini. Boss gets out of the car. The guy says, "Wow, that is a really nice car." And the boss said, "If you work hard, stay dedicated, have goals on your job, I will be able to get a new one next year."
That's exactly it. If you're working for someone else's dream, now don't get me wrong, there is a big epidemic of people who like to trash talk, especially in the entrepreneur community. They like to trash talk the 9-to-5ers.
Yeah.
If you're happy with your 9-to-5, don't ever quit it. If you love what you do, don't ever quit it. Stay there until the day you die if you want, if that's what makes you happy. All I'm simply getting at is don't rely on that being there forever. Have a backup plan. And if you never need that backup plan, worst case scenario, you've just got extra money coming in. You know, have an extra source of income that you can say, you know what? All of my bills and the way I live and my lifestyle is paid for completely by my 9-to-5, but I'm still making extra income from over here. Cool. Stick it in the stock market. Stick it in crypto or you know, a life insurance policy. Use it to fund a vacation. Just have that extra there just in case, and have it strong enough that just in case the worst happens, your job, the building burns down or they lay you off or you end up sick or injured and can't go back. You've got a fallback plan. You don't have to just rely on that one thing. But I never want to tell people, quit your job now.
Right.
I mean, you can, and it will. I like to think that I do a whole lot better when my back is against the wall, because when I lost my job and I had no other options, my back was against the wall. And so I took a 2-hour break from the time I got the phone call from HR that said, yeah, we're not going to bring you back, to the time I got really cracking on working for myself, like digitally full time. And this is not including Rugged Legacy. I took a 2-hour break. I had some coffee. I smoked my pipe. I talked to my wife and kids for a few minutes, and then I grabbed my laptop, went out to my patio, and started working.
Mm-hmm.
And because I back was against the wall, I had to make something happen fast. And I know that if I start building today, it might not pay off until next week, but I need to build today.
So you are saying that the only job security that one has is the security they make for themselves.
100%. Because what if your boss transfers and then you get a new boss, or your company mergers or whatever, and you get a new boss and he goes, well, we're going to start chopping heads and we're going to reformat all of this. And so we're not going to go off of meritocracy. We're not going to go off of tenure. We're just going to start chopping heads in departments, and you might be one of the ones to go. Well, then what are you going to do? You got to go find another job. And that's fine if you still have to find another job because your second stream or your third stream or whatever isn't, all that strong, but at least you're not struggling as bad.
Mm-hmm.
Mitigate the downside is really all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Where do you see yourself in 1 year? Now that you have Rugged Legacy, you have the digital products business, you have the coaching. I mean, I can see you diversifying right now. You have more than one stream of income. Give me 1 year from now. What's going on in your life 1 year from now?
1 year from now, I'm probably going to be on something else. mainly because of iteration. One of the things that I teach to a lot of people who get my book, Quick Start Side Hustle, is publish first, perfect later, right? And so I'm always trying to iterate on something I've already created. I think, what was it, George Patton? He said, a good plan today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow, right? And so if you can get a product or something going and you immediately just get it on the market, you're going to get feedback of all kinds. It's going to be feedback from whether you have customers or you're not getting customers, because not getting any feedback is a kind of feedback, right? And so you turn around and you start tweaking things here and there until you start getting feedback. Okay, cool. Now I'm getting customers, and you just iterate as you go along. And that's what I like to do. Right now, I'm working with maybe 7 different clients right now. And I talk to them once or twice a week over Zoom. We text back and forth. And then every 2 weeks, I pay an invoice to Rugged Legacy because of all the business that they do. I pay to cover, the shipping and the supplies and all that other. I just take it out of the overhead and pay. But I want to do something else, right? I podcast. I wouldn't mind just full-time podcasting, but I don't know. I might go into a full-time agency where I take my coaching business and I turn it into an agency for business owners and kind of tier all of my digital products towards that. The point is, I'm always going to change something up, and I never stop, because if you stop, you die.
Yeah. So making money and being self-sufficient is not about just having one product and doing one thing. You have multiple layers, multiple streams of income. So if one drops out, you still can pay bills, you can still save, you can still invest. Everyone's still eating.
Yeah, everybody's still eating. But one thing that I like to do, and I recommend anybody who's starting a 1 or 2 more income stream, side hustle, whatever you want to call it. I have multiple streams of income, and none of them are a 9 to 5. If you have one income stream, only start one more. All right. I look at the amount of effort you can put in as percentages. So let's say if you want 5 income streams, don't start 5 income streams, because you're only going to be putting, 20% of your effort into it. So you're going to have a 20% viable income stream. Put 100 into it. And when it's automated and you're really good at it and it's effortless, then start another one. When that gets up to the same level, then start another one.
You just said a word, automated.
I love automation.
Tell me about automating a business.
Automate early in whatever it is you're doing. I automate everything that that either I don't know how to do, don't have time to do, or don't want to learn how to do. Because in a 9 to 5 type mindset, X hours equals X dollars, right? When you're working for yourself, time does not equate to money.
It doesn't, does it?
No. I can work for 5 minutes. I sent out a tweet last week that made $1,000. Right? It takes how long? 30 seconds to write a tweet? I can spend 30 minutes on a discovery call, and then a client will sign me, and oh, cool, I just made $2,000. I can spend an hour working on something and then put it out there, and it never makes a dime. Well, that was a bust, but I only wasted an hour. But the point is, the amount of time I put into it doesn't equate the amount of money I'm going to get out of it. I spent, 2 weeks working on one of my digital products, and I've made maybe $15,000 from it. and that's just in sales. Time doesn't equal money.
Yeah.
And when it comes to automating, automate early. Anything you can outsource or use a program to automate. For the gentleman who was asking in the chat about what do you need for a coaching business? You need a webcam, you need a microphone, you need Zoom, you need Card. Card is like $9 a year. It's cheaper than ClickFunnels and it's perfect for a landing page. You know, Zoom is $150 a year. You know, with the automation thing, I have a pinned tweet on my Twitter account. You click on that pinned tweet, it takes you to my landing page. You can see me, what I do, a link to hop on a Zoom call with me or to schedule a Zoom call. And then you see the long plethora of client reviews that I've got from all the people that I've worked with, right? You click on the link to book a Zoom call. It takes you to a Appointlet. I've already months ago plugged in the dates and times that I will have available. So somebody can go on there and click the time they want. And then I get an email saying, hey, you've got a new consult at this time. Okay, cool. I had to do zero work to find and book that client. I didn't have to have them email me and then me email them and then them email me, back and forth playing email tag to figure out what time works for everybody. I've got everything automated. You sign up to my you sign up to my email list, you're going to automatically get an email that was written a year and a half ago sent to you. I didn't have to type that and welcome you in. It's done. You know, I have clients that have a weekly newsletter and they write 26 of them at a time and then put them all on a scheduler using their email marketing software and just have them scheduled to go out once a week. So that's 6 months. They don't have to write an email.
Yeah.
Because do you really, I mean, you can if you want. I love writing. I don't mind getting up early and sitting down. And, you know, after I get back from the gym, it's 5 o'clock in the morning by the time I get back from the gym. So I can sit down and read, write, smoke my pipe, drink coffee, chill with my dog on the porch. But I don't have to because I automated it.
Yeah.
But anything that will save you time is worth doing because that time can be put into more creation of more products and more possibility for revenue, which I don't mind paying somebody else every month to run my website. I don't mind paying someone, you know, every month to schedule tweets for me because that just means I get to sit down, type up a big handful of content in 20 minutes and then go about my day and play with my kids and, you know, watch Spider-Man with my son. And all the work is done because I automated it.
Yeah. All right. So that's a nugget that we've, I'm just trying to think of all the nuggets here. Automate early, start and then perfect it. Don't wait till conditions are perfect before you start. That's kind of what I'm extracting.
Yeah, start before you know everything.
Start before you know everything. You mentioned a couple times quick start something. What is that?
Quick start side hustle. It's a 12,000 word. It's a 12,000 word ebook that I have. It's actually on sale right now. It's only $15 on Gumroad. There'll be a link that I'll send you to put in the video later.
Excellent. I'll put that down below. Yeah.
But I've also got Master Course Creator, which is a video-based course that shows you how to use free software and free tools to create your very own video course and how to direct people into, you know, your sales funnel, as it were. And I hate using specific terms because sales funnel just makes you sound like, you know, like you're some sort of expert. Yeah. All a sales funnel is the journey that people will take on the way to your content. So Folgers coffee sales funnel is you see a Folgers commercial on TV. That's the first thing they heard about Folgers, right? Well, then they go to the store and then they see it on the shelf, the display. Mm-hmm. That's the second layer of the funnel. Well, that was the journey you took to get your coffee. That's a sales funnel. So if you see it on a website or hear it on a blog or like this video here, it's a part of the sales funnel that will lead people to ruggedlegacygrooming.com, which is the company that I started back in 2018. It will lead them to Quick Start Side Hustle, Master Course Creator, my Twitter page, my Instagram page, my podcast. Everything is Rugged Legacy. But that's all the sales funnel is. You know, you don't have to make it complicated. I will say another thing though, and this is very important. I see a lot of people asking about, well, how do you find out what people need? The biggest misconception out there, and this is going to piss a lot of people off because they've been thinking about it wrong forever. You do not need a new idea. There's nothing that I've said today. There's nothing that I'll ever say that somebody else hasn't said 1,000 times. If you go to Barnes and Noble and you can look at every business book, every self-help book, it's all been said 1,000 times. It's regurgitated and reworded into that person's, the author or the creator, in their own perspective. That's all it is, right? And so people like to talk about, well, the market is much too saturated.
Yeah.
Okay. We were just talking about coffee, right? How many different brands of coffee are there?
Unlimited.
How many different brands of bottled water are there? A saturated market is a proven market. And people who think it's saturated really only look at it in terms of they think the market is this small area.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Rugged Legacy Beard Balm, right? I make about $7.25 in profit off of every 10 I sell. If I want to make $1 million in profit per year off of just that 1 tin of Beard Balm, I need to sell it to 0.00017% of the entire market. That is less than 1,000th of a percent of the entire market. For me to make $1 million a year in profit off of one product.
Yeah.
The market's not saturated. The only thing is that market is full of people who figured out what sells and then they put their own label on it. You don't need a new product. You need new customers. So find something that is selling and then figure out who it can be sold to.
You don't need a new product. You need new customers. There is another nugget right there. Yeah, because you entered that market that a lot of people thought would have been saturated. There's a lot of big men's products companies out there. And there's a lot of people that would have counseled you and said, oh, it's a saturated market.
Oh, they did. They did. 100% they did. Well, everybody sells that. They've got Beard Brand Co. They've got like Axe or Viking Beard Co. And you know what? Those are all really good brands. Go buy them. They make good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't care. But at the same time, I've got stuff that is flying off the shelf right now because NASCAR had decided that particular brand, Rugged Legacy, fits our image and what we want. I just found a different audience. What I did with the brand imagery of Rugged Legacy is very important. Okay, and I know we're coming up close to the hour here, but this is important. I did not try to make Rugged Legacy a product that everybody wanted. All right? Rugged Legacy. What do you think of when you hear Rugged Legacy, right? You're thinking of outdoors, mountains, the Teddy friggin' Roosevelts out there, right? And so I think about the man who's the uncelebrated Joe Schmo, the guy who I am, right? I go out and I bang my knuckles with wrenches all day in a factory. The guy who goes out and drives a truck, he welds, he works the oil fields, he's lumberjacking, right? The guys that are the uncelebrated heroes that keep our industries running and and they keep our country running, right? Well, they want to be noticed. So I celebrate them through Rugged Legacy, our forefathers and the strong men that came before, and the men who were not afraid to be a man in a world that tells them being a man is now bad. All right. I target those guys, but I also target the guys who are trapped in those cubicles underneath fluorescent lights. And they just can't wait to get out that weekend, rip off that freaking tie, and hit the trails, hit the mountains, go fishing, go hunting, something. And that is what I targeted as my audience, right? That's who I targeted. So if you can start a beard brand right now, George, and you can gear it towards the aristocrat kind of people, the guys who are leaned back in their smoking jackets, and you can call it the Refined Gentleman Beard Company.
Right.
And you're going to target people who identify with that ideal. Right. And for this question on the board,
yes.
let's say I want to sell emergency food supplies and MRE stuff. How do I start that? Find a supplier. You can either do private labeling, people that already like factories that already make it that will allow you to buy it in bulk and put your own logo on it and start putting it in front of people with a hook. So who are you selling to? Right. If you get all of your product, your brand name on it, how you're going to get it to them, you got to figure out who you're going to put it in front of and how you're doing that. So who are you selling to? Are you selling to the hardcore prepper people who are going to be all gung-hoed? Well, come up with a brand imagery and message that fits those people. You're going to come up with the guy who just wants to be prepared. Well, you're going to gear it towards the more suburban guy, right? You want to gear it towards a higher end clientele. Make it look fancier. Make it look, like something that you could have as an emergency store on your private jet. All you do is figure out exactly who your audience is. You figure that out first and be very specific.
It almost sounds like this is what people would get if they engaged you for coaching.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then I walk them through step by step how to get there. A lot of people, they come to me and they want, like one of my guys, he's in the UK and he's probably one of my favorite clients, but he is a project manager, right? Within 24 hours of our first coaching call, he landed a freelance project management gig making 400 UK pounds a day. That's 15,000 US dollars a month.
Nice.
And he had been out of the game. He'd done it for 30 years, but been out of the game for almost a decade and decided he wanted to get back into it, but do it freelance. It's all about your brand strategy. And with the right strategy, you can take any brand and make it just as popular as Folgers or Ford or whatever.
What do you went from creating a physical product to creating digital products, a product that you can hold in your hands. Now, did you first start melting beeswax in your kitchen or something like that? And
yep,
you did
my wife was pissed off because I ruined all of her pots and pans and had to buy her more. Because there's some things, because I tried to stay as natural as possible. Now, obviously, there's going to be some synthetic ingredients that have to go into things like the shampoos and whatnot. But my beard products, they all have an expiration date, right? Because they're made with food grade, fully organic and fully natural items. But you can't get some essential oil smells out of pots and pans. And so you end up flavoring all of your food with that essential oils. That doesn't work out.
Yeah. All right. So then you found a supplier or manufacturer for this. So you moved it from your kitchen to somewhere else. There's a manufacturing plant that's melting the beeswax and blending the oils and this kind of stuff.
Yep. I found a company that was already making the same kind of things that I was making, but they were making it for other people.
Yeah.
So I got him on the phone and I told him what I was doing. And I said, will this work? That was as easy as it was. I spent a couple of weeks on the phone with them. They said, well, you pay us X amount of money and we'll make you up some and we'll send them to you. You tell us what we think. You tell us what you think. Okay, sounds good. So I gave them the scents that I wanted, pretty much the recipes and the ingredients that I wanted, and said, oh yeah, we don't have some of this stuff, but we'll order it and then we'll make it to what you want. And then you ship it to us. And then we'll make it. We'll send it to you. If you like it, we'll talk. And that's what I did.
Nice. For those that have just joined the stream, the background is this. I'm talking to a man who was homeless, talking to a man who has 9 children, is married, was working a job, did what do you say, work today, get paid today? What is that called? What did you call it?
It was a work today, get paid today place. It was called Labor Ready.
Yeah.
And the way that place worked is you would show up, first come, first serve, and they put your name on a ticket for a construction company or another business that just needs to hire labor for the day. And then you go and you work however many hours they need you. And they sign your ticket and say, yes, he worked for me for 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever. And you take it back to the job, to the labor place. And they go, okay. And they run it in their little system and it prints you out a paycheck where the taxes are already taken out of. And then you go and you cash that check. I was making $56 a day.
Wow. There's a question. Are there variations to these ideas about marketing and branding products that can be applied to a service startup?
Yes. It's not even really a variation because I'm not going to market. Well, actually, I am. I am going to market my digital products exactly the same as I market my physical products, right? Rugged Legacy. Specific audience is acquiring customers all digital. A lot of it is now. I mean, you see majority of your things on social media and TV and the internet and whatever, as far as ads go. But back to the previous question, identify exactly who you're selling to. Yeah, that question there. Identify exactly who you're selling to. What are you offering? I'll give you a little tip when it comes to presenting an offer. All right. And you can apply this offer to anything. And this is actually going to be expanded on in the second edition of Quick Start Side Hustle that I'm working on. I should be releasing it before Thanksgiving. But for example, $49.99 email marketing guide that will help you, or that will increase your open rate in 30 days, comes with one bonus 30-minute call. I just made it up off the top of my head. Okay. The offer was the price, the product. So $49.99, the product is an email marketing guide. And then the terms. The terms are what the customer is expected to get. So it's going to give them a higher open rate, which higher open rate means higher conversions, right? More sales in 30 days or 90 days or whatever number I just said. And then I throw in the bonus, the kicker. You also get a bonus 30-minute coaching call. You frame every single offer, whether it be a coaching offer, whether it be a physical product offer for, $14.99, you get this beard balm that will change the way your beard looks and feels forever. And as a bonus, you get a free sticker. It's the same thing. It's product, price, terms, bonus. The bonus doesn't even have to be tangible. The bonus can be something as simple as, you got a great looking beard. It's not quite as good as Jeff's or George, but it's pretty good. Frame every single offer that way, whether it be for a coaching client, if you're doing a service startup and you're reaching out, with cold outreach. Cool thing with cold outreach is if you are doing like email marketing or plan on writing their emails or their sales letters, if you can write 3 custom sales letters or 3 custom emails that's around their niche, and then you email it to them, hey, use these 3, tell me how they do. If they do well, hire me and I'll write them for you forever. Boom. It's the same thing. You're just reaching out and giving them something.
Who are your e-marketing and new business mentors or idols? Who helped you? Give me some names of people that you first encountered that made you think, yeah, I can do this.
There's a lot of them. Lawrence King is one of them. He's on Twitter. He started off making a whole lot of money through Amazon, and then he started teaching people how to do Amazon. And then he started teaching people how to monetize their Twitter. He's got like 50 Twitter bots and they're all selling crap for him. So he's making like 30 grand a month, and that's automated. He made bots that he loaded content into, and now they're just tweeting and making money for him.
Yeah.
He was one of them. At Chronicles Nate, he sells a service. All right. He basically taught me a whole new way of thinking about money and a whole new way of using my money so that my money pays me to spend it. And I'll just leave that there for you guys to reach out to him about.
Nice.
Chris Johnson, I saw him early on when I joined Twitter. A lot of people, people have mixed feelings about him. I'm not going to say whether any of the rumors of anything are true, but I just saw what he was doing. And I saw, like, okay, people are doing this, so I can do that too. Right. So it was that kind of thing. Several others have too many to name right off the top of my head. But a guy called The Do Lab. All right, at The Do, DULABE. The guy knows his stuff. He worked corporate America. I think he worked for Merrill Lynch or JP Morgan, and then he quit to go and work for himself. And client outreach and service delivery is something he's all about. Ryan Booth, he owns an agency, a very successful agency. I try to learn from people that make more money from me and that are smarter than me, because if I try to learn from people who are exactly like me, I'm not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I like that. All right. So what would you say is your entry level product where people want to just kind of dip their toes into the Jeff Putnam way of doing things? Would it be the quick start guide, would you say?
Quick start side hustle would probably be the number one way to just jump in, and you get a very broad but specific understanding of each way that people are starting to make money online and have been making money online. Because you can take everything that I teach in that guide and you can expand it into something much larger at a greater scale.
Yeah.
And keeping those same principles on creation and how to do it the step-by-step way. It's a system. You follow the system every time, you're going to get results every time.
Yeah. You don't seem like what I call like one of the Lamborghini guys. You know those guys where they're just like standing
Well, if
next
Lamborghini starts making minivans, I will be.
But I don't see ads with you standing next to a rented Ferrari or Lamborghini saying, hey, look, if you do what I do, you're going to have, you seem to have different values than that. And your marketing isn't as, it's not far-fetched. The way you talk appeals to the guy that works on my car or the guy that cashes my checks at the bank. It just seems like you can relate to people at different ends of the scale.
Yeah, pretty much. Don't get me wrong. I'm still saving up to buy the Biltmore house. I'm going to live there one day. I took my wife there as a surprise a few weeks ago. She dug it. But yeah, I'll eventually be, addressed as Lord. But until I get there, I'm going to keep being the same old dude from South Carolina that I am. I saw someone was happy about someone with an Appalachian accent talking about multiple income streams. I'm like, well, yeah, us Appalachian Americans, they got low expectations of us, and we like to try to, surprise them.
Let's see. There's a question for you. Just went to buy Quick Start Side Hustle. Is there a promo code? Didn't you offer it? You lowered the price, I think, right?
Yeah, it should be $15 right now. It's regularly $39.
So for $15, which is the price of
That's like
seriously a
two
beer,
people going to Starbucks, I guess.
yeah, a beer and some wings and some French fries, someone can actually at least learn how to get out of their dark spot or relying on someone else or kind of be consistent with, like, for instance, the name of this
Buy more wings and beer and French fries.
yeah, well, the name of this stream is making more money and being self-sufficient. And this is more than just, if I can do it, you can do it. You are helping people. Well, actually, you're giving hope. I mean, you're kind of like a purveyor of hope.
You can go 3 months with how does that whole thing go? You can go 3 day, was it? Yeah, 3 weeks without food. You can go 3 days without water. You can go 3 minutes without air, but you can't go 3 seconds without hope. And right now, with everybody getting told they're going to lock down and they might lose their livelihood, you need hope.
Yeah.
And for people who are thinking, well, I need to sell this high priced item, reframe your thinking just a little bit. So if you go in and you get Quick Start Side Hustle and you create an ebook or an e-course or whatever it is, don't underprice it for one. But the way I look at it is this. My average electric bill, $150. So if I'm selling Quick Start Side Hustle right now on sale for $15, I sell 10 of them, I paid my electric bill.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So if I want a $200 pair of shoes, okay, well, I guess I need to sell, 18 of those. I don't look at anything I want to buy or anything I got to pay for now in terms of how much money it cost. How many sales do I need?
Anyone, male, female, young, old. You don't need a business degree. You don't need to be a professional copywriter. Anyone that's watching this stream can make money, make more money, and be self-sufficient. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Like I said, I'm not all that smart. I barely graduated high school and I dropped out of college and I was content forever. The only stupid thing I really did do was at one point tell myself I was content to spend 40 years, working at a factory to hopefully get a gold watch and a pat on the back so I could die 10 years later. But again, like I said, if that's for you, then that's for you. But just make extra money while you're at it. Be able to enjoy life a little bit.
Yeah. How did starting your own business help your family life or your marriage?
Well, at first it hurted a little bit because I was up my wife's ass so much more. Pardon my language. She was annoyed with having me around the house all the time.
We keep it real here. I totally keep it real.
Yeah. She was annoyed with having me at the house all the time. So now I have my own little office, which I like. Yeah. So I can come in here and I'm not in her way because she's a stay-at-home mom. She's a homemaker. She, that was my biggest accomplishment that I was proud of, is that I never really had it. I never really had it to where she had to work. Right. And so if she didn't want to work, she didn't have to work. And I was happy with that. And so if I can continue doing whatever it is that I'm doing to keep her that way, and then still be able to spend more time with my kids and my wife. And if I want to go camping, I can go camping. I took a couple of days 2 months ago and I said, I'm just going to go camping in the mountains by myself for a couple of days. No phone service, no nothing. I can do that. I've got the freedom to do it.
Yeah. What about business expenses that you write off? What are some of the things that you can write off that people don't realize that you can write off as an expense?
You can write off just about everything, especially if you're working from home. I'm not a tax lawyer, so I'm not going to go very deep into this, but I've written off cigars and pipe tobacco under food and entertainment.
Mhm.
I mean, talk to a tax expert. I take advice from them. I give them my receipts and go, here, do what you do. But you can write off just about everything. If you use your car to go and buy supplies, okay, calculate that mileage. That's a write-off. There's a lot of things, but I'm not going to go very into that because, again, I'm not a tax attorney, and it's going to be different in every state and every province and every country.
Yeah. And that, it's interesting because people who just go to a 9 to 5, they're not aware of the things that they can write off. There's a lot of loopholes. I know you can write off a certain amount of square footage in your home.
Yeah.
As business working space. So that's helps to pay the bills as well in the home.
Yep.
You said you're a pipe smoker.
I am.
What do you get out of pipe smoking? I have a huge pipe smoking audience.
I don't know. Something just kind of it relaxes me. I live out in the middle of nowhere in a town of about 800 people. So I get to sit on my porch and watch everybody else go to work while I smoke my pipe and drink my coffee. I've become that old man with a sweater on the front porch who waves at people when they go by.
Yeah. That's great.
Kind of like Walt Kowalski in that Gran Torino. I just don't, yell at people to get off my lawn because my lawn's fenced in. They can't get in anyway.
Right. Now, as far as your kids are concerned, have you ever taken any of your kids and say, come on in, we show you what I'm doing? And are you inspiring them, or are they hell bent on doing their own thing?
The teenagers are doing their own thing, no matter what I say. It just is what it is. One of them is really excited, and he's seen what I've done. And so he's 15 and he's getting into Forex trading, which I think is pretty funny. Nice. So he's going to teach me that, and I'm helping him with his marketing.
Excellent.
But the other ones, they just think daddy doesn't have a job. And so when their teacher asks, what does your daddy do?
Yeah.
He just, I don't know. He sits around and he talks to people on the phone and he tweets. So I'm pretty sure everybody will think that I'm some unemployed jerk off, which I know my neighbors do. My neighbors, as soon as they saw me stop going to work, I can hear them talking when they gather up in each other's yards. I never see them leave anymore. I don't know how they afford that. I don't know what they're doing. So I've got plans to just dress like Walter White, with the gas mask and just come out of the shed all sweaty.
So, all right. So the person that's watching this today, who goes to a job, they're all over the world. I have viewers from all over the world. Give us one good last nugget.
One good last nugget. So what have we covered so far? Automate early, start before you know everything. No such thing as a saturated market. Let's see. Don't try to start a business that you're going to have to change your life to fit into. Start a business that already fits your life. Right? My business allows me to stay home, talk on Zoom, email on my phone, tweet on my phone, whatever. But I don't have to change the way I live to go and do that business. So create a business that fits into your life rather than create a business and then try to figure out some way to squeeze your life into it.
That's brilliant. Create a business that fits into your life rather than trying to squeeze your life into your business.
Yeah, don't square peg, round hole it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like that. Well, you really brought some value today, and I'm happy to have you on. First of many in a series of making more money and being self-sufficient. I think you gave a lot of people hope, which is kind of the thing that I do on this channel. Is I like to consider myself the home of sanity, clarity, and reason, and that people will get hope from every video that I put up. Your entry-level product, if someone wants to just check you out without dropping a lot of money, they can get your ebook course for $15, I believe you said, right?
Yep, $15. The price is going to go back up to its normal $39 after the sale. But after that, it's going to go up even higher because I'm adding videos, rewriting new content, getting a little more in depth on each of the subjects covered. And like what I expect anybody here to do, get paid for your work. Don't undervalue yourself.
That's valuable. That's very valuable. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your links below this video after I publish this video. And all they have to do is click on a link. That's all they have to do. And then when will the price go up on that course?
I've got about, I'm running the sale now on Twitter. Let me see how many copies that I have left because I had dropped it to $15 for 40 people. And I've got now 18 of those copies left. And so I will send you those links as soon as we drop off here and people can jump on them before they go back up.
Excellent. And all I'm telling people is this. Look, it's Friday night. It's Friday night. You're probably going to go out and blow $15 on something. You're going to order out. You're going to get a pizza delivered to your house. You're going to buy some junk food somewhere. Over the weekend, you'll probably get some fast food or something like that. Why not take that money and invest it in yourself? It's such a small investment. Such a small investment.
And I'll add in all of the new content that I'm creating and adding into Quick Start Side Hustle. If you've bought it ever before, if you're watching it, you already have it. You will have instant access to that once it's uploaded. You're not going to have to buy anything new. So if you had bought it a year ago and then I add something new to it tomorrow, you're going to get notified that it's been updated and you can download the new content as it becomes available.
That's nice. That's nice. That's great to offer that. That really is. Well, I think you gave everybody hope. I think everyone has felt like 2020 has relatively sucked. And, there's not a lot of people giving hope. There's a lot of doomsayers out there. If you turn on the news, which I don't watch, a lot of people saying, you would think it's like the end of the world, the way people are talking.
I don't have time for all of that.
It's ridiculous.
If I wake up today and I tell myself it's going to be a good day, then it's a good day.
Yeah.
I don't have to listen to some stranger on a TV tell me what to think.
Exactly.
Looks good from my front porch.
Are you celebrating Thanksgiving this year?
Yeah.
Good.
I got family and friends coming from Mississippi. A lot of people get mad at me about that. Look, I'm going to do me. You might as well do you. And we don't have to agree on everything. But I'm not going to let some guy I've never met and probably didn't vote for tell me how to live my life. I'm just going to do me because y'all don't really care if I make it or not.
Exactly.
Not y'all, but the governor and politicians don't care if I make it or not. So I'm going to live the way I want.
Right. From what I saw on the web, on YouTube, they released our interview. I haven't, that will also be available on this channel. I think Anthony Johnson just released it within the past day or two. And then he usually sends me a copy of the video, and then I also will publish it on this channel as well.
Yeah, it came up yesterday. I'd thrown it out there.
Was it yesterday? Okay, good. Excellent. So as soon as he sends it to me, I will be putting it up on this channel as well. So, all right. Well, Jeff, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. This was a great consulting session for a lot of people, and you did provide value. And most of all, you provided hope, because we can't live without hope.
That's right.
So Thank you, Jeff Putnam. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.